I passed neighbor Charlie on the street today. I'm like, yo man, you got an excavator? He goes, I don't know where it's at. That was what he said. He said, I don't know where it's at. Which to me is like, I don't have it. And he shows up. Everything happens for a reason. I swear to God, the lady was put on this earth simultaneously, I didn't know it, in line with Charlie. Neighbor Charlie showing up, hooking it up. Literally, like, I spoke to him today at 8 o'clock. Dude's over here killing it. Check this out. And then panel's gonna run there. And the this time around we're gonna do outlets in the ceiling. The motor is already installed here. And the plumber will be out to run water off of that hole right there, up over there to another inline water heater. Ice Cube says, I got a license plate that says life is great. And the electrician just left to go get the conduit. Let's do it. What's up, fish tank people? Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's episode, we're gonna talk about one of those great sizes aquarium that you get when you step it up a little bit. Today, we're talking about the 55-gallon aquarium and my top 5 fish ideas for the 4-foot 55-gallon aquarium. And my number 5 idea in my top 5 55-gallon fish ideas, I'm gonna hit you with a curveball out of the gate. We're talking about cichlids. That's right, folks. For me, a 55-gallon with yellow Libidinochromas, or yellow labs as they're called. Look, super colorful fish, super hardy fish, super mean fish. With setting up this tank, I'd recommend you use a lot of crushed coral or dolomite. That'll keep you with the higher pH that cichlids know and love. As far as decorations, you want a lot of hiding places, lots of rocks, lots of lava rock, places for fish to hide. Also with decorations, you can get away with tying on some anubias or some java fern. That's more or less it with cichlids. If you are keeping other plants with cichlids like these, please let me know. But with these plants like anubias and java fern, you can tie them to rocks, tie them to driftwood, and the cichlids won't be able to rip them up quite as bad. They also like the high pH you're going to give them with the dolomite. Now look, cichlids are going to beat the crap out of each other, so I recommend that you overcrowd the aquarium, because if you have, say, 5 cichlids, the one weak one's going to get chased around and beat up. But if you have, say, a dozen cichlids, Africans particularly, that one weakest fish is going to have the beating dispersed amongst the other ones, and it won't take it quite as badly. Also, a lot of hiding spots help. My number 4, my top 5 aquarium fish ideas for 55-gallon. I'm going entirely the opposite direction of cichlids. We're going bubble, 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 guppy, guppy, guppies. That's right, we're talking about guppies. A 55-gallon with guppies could get full and balanced fast. That's right, here's my idea with a guppy aquarium. You could get an environment where you run a ridiculous amount of floaters. As I talked in last week's video, the floating plants absorb more excess nutrients. They work harder in your aquarium because they have extra light and extra CO2 available above the water line. And the guppies like all of the roots and all of the plants living underneath the surface of the water. This is where the babies could live. What does it take to breed guppies? A male guppy, a female guppy, and water. Now, here's the thing with a 55. What I like about a 55-gallon with guppies, you're like, why would you do a small fish in such a big tank? The reason is this: the small little guppies, a whole bunch of them, will give you a nice schooling, shoaling effect. They give you a lot of scale. Small fish in a big aquarium, I've always been a big fan of this. Guppies, I would recommend that you pick a certain couple of colors, like do all yellows or all blues, or you could do a rainbow of guppies, whatever you want to do. Guppies, super easy, lot of heavy plant load. Fish load will keep up with the plant load. Load a 55 with guppies, folks. And my number 3 in my top 5 types of fish to put in a 55-gallon aquarium, we're talking platies, we're talking swords, we're talking liquid swordtails. That's right, folks. Platies and swordtails going in a 55. Now look, I tried this in a 55-gallon aquarium. You can see the old no maintenance tank here with a heavy plant load. I love the look of just the plain Jane old platy with the orange body with the black fins and a whole bunch of them. But they come in a bunch of different varieties of swordtails. I've had the old Hamburg black, may Karen rest in peace. All kinds of different types of platies and swordtails available. Again, like I said with guppies, I would recommend that you keep just one type of a species and let that species breed. So when you look, just like you would look in nature, you would have a bunch of one color. That being said, there are so many variations and varieties. You could probably mix a little bit of like a longer fin platy in there or whatever. But with the plants, same deal as the guppies. Get some stuff that floats up at the surface. The babies will live down in there. Also, you could have a nice, just simple plain Jane Java moss along the bottom. The babies can kind of both live and eat off the bottom of there. Super easy, breed like crazy. Platies and swordtails, pick your poison. Also, with guppies and platies, along the bottom, for the bottom feeding fish, I would wholeheartedly recommend at least 6 or more Quarry cats. And Corydoras, I've got a number of videos on those. I've also collected them. You can click the links in the description box to see more about those fish. But those fish would go great with both the platies and the guppies as a bottom feeder in your 55-gallon aquarium. And my number 2 in my top 5 type of fish you should keep in a 55-gallon aquarium. We're talking about children of the morning sun. We're talking about rainbow fish. Now look, rainbow fish, folks, are not gonna look sexy in the pet store, okay? They simply need more time at home, being well fed and good water conditions to look good. So what you see in the store is not gonna look as great as when you get it home, particularly with rainbow fish. Rainbow fish are the bomb.com when it comes to giving you both color, rampant behavior, and they do not mess up plants. So they're gonna give you color, crazy behavior, good size, and they're not gonna mess up plants in a 55-gallon aquarium. Now look, folks, here's how I like to roll with rainbow fish, and I think this is a good general idea for you all. Okay, I like to keep rainbows 1-to-1, one male to one female. Think about it. Single guys dress differently than married men. Crocs with socks. Yes, I keep one male to one female with the rainbow fish because the male rainbows are gonna color up one heck of a lot more for the females. In a 55-gallon, you could get away with probably around 6 of the regular rainbows, although the dwarf species like the praycock, you could keep a lot more of those. Rainbows like a lot of water flow and you wanna give them something to do, so I would recommend a little bit above average water flow or turbulation with it. Also, rainbows can handle huge water changes, so you can make maintenance easy. Rainbows actually prefer a nice big huge water change. So rainbow fish, love them, keep them. I've got all kinds of videos about rainbow fish. Pick a school though. I recommend the Rainy Reds are awesome, the Bozeman are awesome. I kept about 40 Bozeman in my old 220 back in the day. One thing with rainbow fish, unlike the guppies and the Quarry cats with the bottom feeding fish, rainbow fish are such rambunctious feeders. They basically don't let anything hit the bottom, and I've actually had Quarry cats that were underfed. I would recommend a loach of some kind. There's a bunch of different types of loaches, but loaches are able to keep up and kind of swim up in the school of the rainbow, so they would be a little bit of a better choice, in my opinion, for the bottom of a 55-gallon aquarium. Rainbow fish, baby, get some. And before I give you my number 1 fish for 55-gallon, leave me a comment on what combination you would run in a 55-gallon. Maybe I'm missing something here. And my number 1 idea for fish to keep in a 55-gallon aquarium is this, folks. If I had to keep just one, and this is a tough one for me to say, folks, you gotta roll Angelfish in a 55-gallon aquarium. Look, I've collected these fish with my own 2 hands in the Nanai River. We were actually throwing them back. We were getting so many of them. Long and flowing, sly moving, graceful yet gangster, because they are a cichlid and will give you a little bit of sassy attitude. Love the long flowing fins, all kinds of different colors. Platinum available, white available, koi available, and then the plain Jane Scalera. I absolutely love me some angelfish. You want to watch them with smaller fish. If you're daring, you can try out the Ultim Angels, although they like a lower pH and are a heck of a lot harder to keep. Angelfish tank mates, you want to roll with tetras from the same sort of region. Obviously, we could do neon tetras, we could do bloodfin tetras, we could do bleeding heart tetras. You could do all kinds of different tetras. You want to kind of get a fish that's faster than the angelfish though, because they are known periodically to eat smaller fish. Angelfish are also easy to breed. They're readily bred in captivity, so you can get hardy varieties of them. Quarry cats along the bottom with angelfish too, because they're not quite fast enough They're not as rambunctious as the rainbow fish that I just mentioned. Check out all the links we've done about angelfish, but do me a favor, folks, drop me a comment on what kind of style of fish setup you would do in a 55-gallon aquarium. There's oodles of fish. I didn't even talk about goldfish, which would also make a good one, so I'd love to get your comments on this topic. Everybody make it an awesome week. Hit the subscribe button and tank on.